Hello bass players! Today we're looking at page 9 in Essential Elements Book 2, and this one uses a lot of single eighth notes. So you've probably learned how to read eighth notes with the beams across the note stems. And that's generally how we do it when there's multiple eighth notes in a measure. But when you have single eighth notes, they still count. They're basically just a half a beat of sound. And they're generally notated with a flag rather than a beam. So you can look in the yellow box at the top of your page and see how that looks. The flag can go up or down depending on whether the stem goes up or down. And then they're often alternated with eighth rests, which look a little bit like the number 7. But you can see really what the symbol looks like in that box on the top of page 9. So an eighth note is a half a beat of sound. An eighth rest is a half a beat of silence. And they can be either, the notes can be either on the beat or off the beat. So we're going to go ahead and start with a rhythm rap. And this is just a rhythm. We're going to play it on our open D string. And basically we're practicing going back and forth between quarter notes on the beat and eighth notes on the beat with rests in between. So the eighth notes are just going to sound shorter than the quarter notes on the open D string. Generally, it's a good idea to stop the bow on the string when you have a rest. That'll make sure that the string stops moving. Now let's go ahead and do number 31, which is the same rhythm that you just played, but with some notes added. And these are just the first few notes of the D major scale. You'll have quarter notes marked with staccato markings, a vertically aligned dot. So a dot either over or under the note head, not beside it, but either on top of it or underneath it. And that means staccato. That tells you to play that quarter note short, which is really going to basically make it sound the same as what we were just doing, which was eighth notes alternated with eighth rest. So if you have a staccato quarter note, that's going to sound pretty much the same as an eighth note on the beat. And so here in exercise 32, they've given you some staccato quarter notes and some eighth notes with rests in between them, but they're going to be articulated really the same. So generally, a piece of music would not combine those two types of notation. They would either pick one or the other. But with this one, we just want to emphasize that these are interpreted the same. So here we go. We're going to play short and sweet. Number 32. Done. Let's go ahead and do the next one, which is another rhythm rap. And let's go ahead and we're going to do this one vertically in the air. So this one has some spots where there's an eighth rest on the beat and an eighth note after the beat. So the eighth note is on the and of the beat and the eighth rest is on the beat. Let's go ahead and count out loud while we play this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4. Number 34 is just the same rhythm that we just played, but with some notes of the D major scale. So let's go ahead and play this one now with the notes. And then same concept, but different notes and a rhythm in a slightly different order. Number 35, Sunny Day. our song on this page, the Essential Elements quiz. This is Jesse James, and this one uses a couple of lower notes. It's going to go down onto the A string. So that first note is open A. And then other than that, notice mostly notes on the D string, but you do have a first finger on the A, a little bit later B. So just watch the notes and be really working on learning how to read those notes on the bass, especially if you're just newly transferring from a different instrument. Now, a couple of other things about this one. It starts with a pickup, so there are two notes and then a bar line. Those two notes are actually beat 4, not beat 1. There are 4 beats in a measure and only 1 beat before the first bar line, so we call that a pickup. It is starting down bow because there are 2 pickup notes, but that is actually before beat 1. And also notice when there are 8th rests on the beat followed by 8th notes after the beat. Make sure that you're counting accurately. A few dynamics in this one as well, so a lot of things to think about and work on. Because there's a pickup at the beginning, there's only going to be 3 beats of count off before you start, so just be ready to come in after the 3rd beat. Good job. That does it for page 9. I hope you enjoy practicing the pieces on page 9, and don't forget to count carefully when you're dealing with those 8th notes and 8th rests. Good luck and happy practicing.